Greetings, internetizens. This is Elmerthien playing the Roottrees are dead. In the last episode, a family of business people and models died in a plane crash near Pittsburgh. So I'm looking for some blood relatives on the spider portal. Who was I looking for again? Vote? Oh, there's a politician. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. Carl was the father, the most recent president. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply, love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. So, that's not Steph's note. Could it be her partner here? And what was it about an unconventional family? Were her parents gay or something? This photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water-damaged picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is, couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. Gwen and the boys. We got a photo of Gwen. Where was she? I think we've got her. Oh yeah. Let's get Steph and this guy too. This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. He had to scrape some of the wax off. To Carol and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. Hinduism is involved. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carol that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that much without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion Recreate an old family photo. This one is from the 70s. And Carl's the teenager in the middle. Hello, Carl. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., the televangelist, Jim Roottrees, Clark, Carol, and Eli M. I'm just getting a few of the people here. You're saying that's Carl in the exact middle, cause I doubt that he's the girl. Carl, Carl, where are you? Little Carl? The Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash, 1998. Next evening, a shadowy figure appeared. List of notable Roottrees. They would 9 more blood relatives. A photo of Carl's generation, yeah. Oh yeah, Alliance and Gwyneth. Have I got them? Cause last time they just wouldn't appear. Gwyneth, what is up with you? Three more correct blood relatives. Who are all these stars? Clark, oh yeah. Clark is Lauren's husband, yeah. No, Lauren's son. Lauren. Oh, right. Up first glance to send him to academy. Yes. You're not Clark. No, no, no. Yeah, Clark's already getting married. Her son? No, might have the husband's family name. Jacob? Who's Jacob? Yes, her son Clark and her husband Jacob. Jacob? Only one Clark. Mother's family was called the Cossells. Yeah. Cleansed trust. None of his sons would take over as president. Who's Clancy? Not the old man's son. No, Zack. It went to Zack. Even though his surname doesn't match with the candy. Right, the names should somehow match with the first letters of the... what was it? The flavors. Yeah, and she's older than Zack. And the woman did not take over. Sam, an obscure relative who was to be included in family gatherings. Granny has sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. But I was told trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam special? What's EC doing here? EC, oh no. Eli is Miracle's youngest. You. Don't know. Clark, who are you? You all aspire to be musicians and artists. Only Carl has discipline. Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Carl, where are you? Clancy. One of the Clancys. Where was I again? Oh, I've got this covered. Stephanie Jones. A candidate for city council. Won her campaign on election day about a month ago. No mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. She also has a very bare bones website for her campaign. It is simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, "Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times." The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from the last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. She grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Oh, that's what they meant by though mother and her partner, maybe they were gay. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. Caroline. Caroline. Morgan? I only see one Caroline here, and she's not Landon. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get the billing. There's an image of Caroline standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. Caroline standing next to her sculpture Atlantis' Burden. This sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book Self-Portrait Art and the Beauty of Women. The sculpture is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture has been added to your evidence. Nope, I can't take a picture of the mermaid. Oh, you want the apostrophe, don't you? Where's my apostrophe key? Nope. Clancy? Who's Clancy? Oh yeah. The Clans Trust is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottrees, who was Elias's son, and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Elias's son. Hmm. Oh. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. The company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relative at birth, and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual numbers have never been fully disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company, it is a significant amount of money. The clan's trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. There have been a few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague since the matters are handled internally. The only information you discover is from a university law school which apparently has a guest lecturer talk about the Roottrees versus RR. Looking into the clan's trust, you often find mentions to the 5-piece guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. Oh, maybe I should check the 5 pieces again. Yeah, let's check out all this candy. This is Carl. Let's check this thing. You'll find a website for the Miracle Network. Oh yeah, this is just his page again. Yeah. What was it? I knew there was a Miracle the Third. Can't find him. You connect to so much stuff. No. Very limited search. Edith. Edith. She was arrested. There's a crime blotter article about Edith Jacobson that also mentioned a Helen Roottrees and a Lucinda Jacobson. Who's this Lucinda? In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. Donations. Yeah. The church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottrees, who was there at the time while her husband Miracle was away preaching. Miracle. Helen Roottrees was quoted as saying, "Jesus forgives and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I am confident He has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." Maybe I should check out Lucinda too. Nothing. Nothing on Helen. Ooh. Huh? The Cosels, yes. No. Head lawyer, yes. It's Clancy, wouldn't it? Now, let's check out some pictures. This is a woman. is for Clancy Edward. And M for Miracleberry. I'll check if they are in order. Yes, it seems so. Cinnamon extract. Yes, this is Clancy Edward. A student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. Who is RR? It was said that RR attempted two arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. Was it this Sam? And second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Due to the ironclad wording of the clan's trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust. Who is RR? There's probably a lot of them. I just wasn't sure whether the number keys make a sound. They seem to, after all. In combination with the clan's trust, Elias Roottrees attempt to ensure that the Roottrees Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it's somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Roottrees president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 55 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the clan's trust, this makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president. And he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Whether or not this was a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economics enthusiasts of all levels of expertise. G is for grape. This doesn't tell me anything. There were some group photos. 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. This is the girls. This is Gwen and the boys. But what boys are these? Debbie? Who's Debbie? Who's... Oh, Ernie! And then Ernie was mentioned somewhere. This is the 5 pieces. Oh, yeah! Mr. Morden was there with Aunt Gwendoline. Only the 5 pieces. This is the 5 children of the founder man. Miracle Roottrees. I should look at him. Did he lose an eye at some point? Flyer about the tour. Of course, scamming people. Well, he does seem to be the youngest here. I mean, the kid with the eye patch is the youngest here. He's said to be world famous. Maybe from Clergy Watch. Wait, wrong button. Hello, hello. You're a patch boy, aren't you? Wait. Nope. This is the black and white photo. Yeah. Lauren was still a kid then. 1935. Eli Jr. Eli Jr. was somewhere in there. And I've got my old 5 pieces, and so Eli Jr. is E for elderberry. Wait. We look here. Angie is not there. Gwendoline. Aunt Gwendoline is somewhere in there. And she's the G. She's a daughter. Mr. Morden. Who are these Mordens? They never took a second photo. Eli Junior, Clancy, and Miracle. Gwendoline. And some other lady. Oh yeah, maybe I should check Gwen again. Yeah. Her father took her mother's famous name. Linus. Lean into alliteration. There's an RR involved. There's probably pictures of all these people. Bonnie. Next president. Who's Guy Hudson? Oh wait. Spiders. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line. For less than a year in 1979, it was Guy Hudson's first move, historically most cited move as president of Roottrees, in an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted. Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavors to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavor in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. What the heck? 5 pieces sold less that year than it had any other year, except in some foreign markets. Japan, isn't it? It was very quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavor and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Can I see him at Business Watch? Guy Hudson, along with his twin sister, are no strangers to the public when it comes to Roottrees snacks. They both appeared in the company's advertisement as children during the Boys and Girls Agree era. Now Guy is taking over the Roottree company at the end of the year. Who would have known that one of those two adorable redheads? Guy credits his mother and father Angie and Christopher with providing his fiery duo, arguing over everything but chocolate would grow up to take over the whole company. Guy's uncle Zachariah has decided to take an early retirement to focus on traveling the world with his wife. Current President Zachariah. Zach was quoted as saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I plan to reflect on a life well lived." Guy is new to the business world, but his family. We at Roottrees have faith in his innovative ideas and he's eager to share them with the world. We like to think that Boys and Girls Agree that he's ready to succeed. Angie and Christopher. So, 3 lovely redheads, right? Angie and Christopher. Zach. So, Guy is at least 3rd gen. So, in a picture with little Carol. Ooh, Gwendolyn, a fancy name. Who's this guy? Doesn't look very red. Angie. No. Without the age. Wait. We might have an Angie in the 5 pieces. No? Melon? No, right. And she was the 3rd generation, wasn't she? Oh, wait. One of the ends listed from the late 50s. It's a series of television and magazine ads for Roottrees chocolate bars. The ad campaign is described as having the premise that boys and girls are often diametrically opposed, except when it comes to one thing, both of them agree that Roottrees is their favorite. The first advertisement in the series was the most memorable due to the bright red hair of the boy and girl involved. I had some Angie and Chris. But who's Angie again? Lauren mentioned her at some point. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. There's probably two Clancy's involved. Let's look for the book. Nope. Do I have to capitalize it? Zack is not a good president, and his sister is raising her twins. Zack is her cousin. Clark's a free spirit, yeah. Little Clark. I feel like there are two Clancy's involved. Edward. Who's Edward? Zack and his sister. who's raising twins. Can't tell. Lauren's cousin. Gwen is Gwen. This isn't Zack. So Zack is somewhere around here. Where's Zack? Wilson? Where did we get Wilson? Oh yeah, Morden! He's a Morden, isn't he? Morden. What was up with these Mordens? Guy Hudson somewhere here among the redheads. But Guy Hudson was a president. And Mr. Morden was there with Aunt Gwendoline. Gwendoline? Zack, where are you? It's a weird spelling. Oh wait, where was I? Angie and Lauren couldn't be in the photo. And these dudes are Clancy and Eli Jr. Gwyneth and Lady M. Morden. And my business watch, guys. Only one spelled that way. Zack Morden, son of James and Gwendoline, grandson of Elias Roottrees. You were the president. He is quoted as saying Elias entrusted me with carrying on his legacy. And that's what I plan to do. Along with 5 pieces, our chocolate maple products are selling incredibly well. We will not be making any changes. Uncle Zack was one of the presidents. his sister had twin sons? No, twin children. Zach Marden, is it? Why can't I find you? Elias interested me, but was there anyone in between? Guys, Uncle Zach says Clara and I. Clara? Mm. Guys, Uncle Zach. How many presidents were there even? 5. Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher. And where is red hair? No Angie or Chris, I see. I think red hair here might be Guy Hudson. James Marden. Who is this Marden guy? Let's look up fancy flavors. Two adorable redheads, yes. Yes, Guy and his twin sister. So where's the boys and girls segregation? You are Guy Hudson. Angie, Angie.